I know. I join in with you, but I have a humility clause in my contract. Well, that was very nice of you. You know what's better? I never had to pay for it.
You checked the
come
outfits?
on.
Look at this. Identical.
Why didn't you tell me you were going to wear your blue blazer and your gray slacks?
Looks like Tony Randall is without, doesn't it?
You got writers coming in the afternoon, huh? Did you wear something like this to your high school? This is normally what you'd wear to a high school prom, right?
Yeah.
Blue blazer, gray slacks. Where was your high school prom?
It was in Craddock.
In Craddock?
Yes. Where I was living at the time.
Yeah, what? Where, excuse me, Tom, where is Craddock? That the city
It's in Virginia.
Craddock?
Yes.
Craddock, Virginia. Who'd you take to your high school prom? It's just like a memory test. We're just fooling around here.
Her name was Glenna Joyce Quinn.
Why do girls in the South always have three names? So it's like Kitty Ann Litter.
Yeah.
You know. Did you ever notice? Glennis, huh?
No, Glenna Joyce. Her name was Sam, actually.
Yeah. Whatever happened to her? It's not fair. I'm laying the monologue off on Tom tonight. Anyway, Tommy's a great musician, but for excitement, I mean, Tommy's idea of a big Saturday night is go down to Ralph's Market, pick up 11 items, and then sneak in the express line. You know, just to cause trouble. Today are we in August already?
Already.
And you were standing outside? I think it's about, 98 out here in the valley? The Transportation Department announced today that July was kind of an unusual month in California. The ground speed exceeded the 55-mile-an-hour speed limit. How many of you have read the Meese Commission report on pornography? Any of you? Well, maybe you haven't read the whole. Have you seen some of their findings? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Some good news today. The commission said it's okay for consenting adults to share a single strand of spaghetti as long as it's done in the privacy of your own home. And I think I should have done that joke in the privacy of my own home. Here's some exciting show business news I've mentioned a couple of days because I like her. You know, Vanna White.
Yeah.
Has just come out. What are you laughing at? I mean, she apparently is a publisher offered her a lot of money, I assume, to write her autobiography. And already I understand it's sold to the movies. Meryl Streep is going to play Vanna White. Meryl is already learning to flip over the letters on the puzzle board. And they're negotiating with Redford to play Pat Sajak. And I think I'm also looking forward eagerly to the biography of the star of the Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, Robin Leach.
Yes.
The book is called A Leach on Show Business. We almost, I guess, they don't know for sure whether we're going to have an actor strike in television. Have you been following this?
No.
Apparently, the settlement is near between the actors and producers on a new contract, and they have a strong incentive to finish the talks in Sherman Oaks, because the alternative to settlement today is spending the weekend in the valley. There's a joke in there somewhere. If you'd like to go on a treasure hunt, we have a little Geiger counter there. Actually, one of the problems with the strike was I just plunge right ahead. I don't care. They had some new episodes being planned for this fall that were delayed. For example, NBC has a new Western show starring Hervé Villechaize as Kid Sanchez, of a wrangler on an ant farm. And in the very first episode, a kid is thrown from his grasshopper and killed in an ant stampede, and they have to... How many of you read the Emmy nominations in the paper? I'm telling you, probably... Everybody who's in television
Right.
got nominated for something. They They had a category for best toupee on a TV evangelist. No, they'd be, no. That's not from the heart. They had some strange categories. Up for the same award are Dustin Hoffman, Willard Scott, and King Friday from the Mr. Rogers Show. We're getting close to a joke here. You know, I had a birthday today, I think it was today or yesterday. First Lady Nancy Reagan says, I think, well, I guess they said it in the paper. She is now 65, and she looks wonderful, and she's now collecting Social Security. So both the First Lady and the President are collecting Social Security. Now, let them try to live on that when they leave the White House. They have black shoes, too.
Yes.
Well, Prince Andrew of England and his bride, Sarah Ferguson. Now, she is officially a princess now, I guess, right? Mm-hmm. Did they call her Princess Sarah? Would that be the correct title? Excuse me?
Duchess of something.
She's the Duchess of... No, she's not a princess. She's the Duchess of York. Well, why did you just go say yes when I said she's a princess now, and you went, yeah, she's a princess. I depend on you for this information.
I don't want to argue with you on a Friday night, be miserable all weekend.
Anyway, they got back after their 2-week honeymoon in the Azores. Yes. You were right there. And Prince Andrew was just like any other good son. He brought his dirty laundry back to his mother's house. His mother's a queen. Let's see, a little extraneous information here. Today is the birthday of Francis Scott Key, the composer. Composer, of course, of the Star-Spangled Banner, and you probably don't know that, but as he was composing it in a jail, if you remember, during the bombing of Fort McHenry, he said to himself, one day, Kenny Rogers will sing this before a Dodgers game. How many of you have been watching the footage from the Titanic? Ooh. Oh, I tell you. Wonderful pictures. Now, I hate to say this, I'm starting to doubt its authenticity. I was watching it last night, and the camera was panning B deck, and I saw Doc, Gopher, and Charo. Okay, you've all quieted down now from this outburst. We got a good show for you tonight. We have a very talented actor, gentleman who's been on the show a number of times, and I still do not understand most of what he talks about. Mr. Charles Grodin is with us. Very funny young comedian's been with us before. Dom Herrera is here. And a gentleman by the name of Tommy Walton, you'll meet him later. He is known as officially...
Hot dog vendor.
He's a hot dog vendor, but he's better than that, isn't he? I mean, doesn't he do something... Does he do
the world's greatest? The world's greatest.
World greatest hot dog vendor. Now, that's what we're talking about. So stay where you are, and we'll be right back. Friday night.
Yes, you can tell it.
The reason Doc is not here tonight is because tomorrow night, Saturday, he and his group Zebron. That's good jazz.
Nice group.
Jazz fusion. Is that what you call that group, Tom?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, what's the difference between straight mainline or straight ahead jazz and jazz fusion? Isn't there a difference?
Yes. There's no...
No, I'm serious. There's straight ahead, what they call mainline, and then there's jazz fusion. What?
Well, it's a combination of jazz and rock.
Oh, I see. I sing, okay.
Good.
Anyway,
Zebron.
Zebron. And they're going to be playing at the R.B. Smith Park in Fort Lauderdale. And on Sunday, this Sunday, he'll be appearing with the big band at the Town Park in Point Lookout, Long Island. That's a big jump, right?
Sure.
Anyway, if you happen to be there, drop in and see Doc. What else we have? Anything
Nothing to report.
All right, now let me see here. How many of you, somebody said last week from the audience, they were out taking the NBC tour, and they went to the NBC gift shop. Have you ever been to the NBC gift shop? Did any of you visit the NBC gift shop today? Oh. Did you buy anything? Somebody in the audience asked why the Tonight Show didn't have any memorabilia or T-shirts or stuff out
Johnny
there.
Carson T-shirt.
And I said, I didn't know. But they do have a store out here, and I guess people who come through want a memento of their trip. Let me show you what's currently available. Okay. You watch the show St. Elsewhere? Good
Right.
show. Hospital. You can actually buy
A hospital
a
gown?
hospital gown.
Oh,
They sell these out here.
St. Elsewhere.
Fine workmanship.
Elves make this at night. don't
You-
they? Yeah.
They get $13.75 for
Wow.
this. Aha. We are missing the boat here. What else? Letterman's ripping the public off out there. Yeah.
Got a hat?
David's got caps out there. The cap's $9.75. They get $10 for the T-shirt, $16.50
For the sweatshirt.
for the sweatshirt. A real bargain. What are all these? Apparently they have shirts from every show. Remington Steel, Miami Vice. Yeah, you see? Well, what's this go for? Anybody know? $10?
Wow.
It's just a little
And we don't have one.
tin. No, we're gonna have some. I'm talking. We're talking Major League ripoff here.
Family ties?
Family Ties has got one. What, Hill Street Blues, the A-Team, all I guess $10, right? What is this? Night Court? Night Court's got a T-shirt. Let's see what else now you can buy out here. Oh, here now, folks. This, a treasure. This you'll probably want to pass down generation to generation. An NBC flashlight. Has a little NBC logo here, and there's an actual switch, and you press this switch, and this
happens.
giant illuminating beam, which will cast a beam from
Batteries not
about
included.
here to this coffee cup.
Right?
Right.
No batteries, and how much?
Well, I think are batteries included?
No.
$3.75. Okay. Let's see what else here. An NBC cigarette lighter, handsomely mounted in plastic. Of course, the NBC. There's a logo on everything. You see.
Sure.
This is $2 if you buy it out there. But I found out a young lady from NBC. Does she work for NBC? The young lady was here today. Remember, I was down on the stage. I asked her about this, and she said, if you're an employee of NBC, instead of the $2, you can buy this for $1.40. Yeah. That's enough for people to just say, hey, tomorrow I want to get a job with NBC just so I can save 60 cents. Yeah, I'd get in here tomorrow, folks, and become an employee. Okay, $2 for the lighter. You believe this? A little bib.
Wait a minute.
What?
I need that.
Well, then you better come up with some money. $2.75.
$2.75.
Well, I'll make this donation.
All right,
My
thank
man,
you.
you give that.
Catherine Mary likes that. Thanks.
That, of course, is in lieu of a big Christmas gift that I was. Just remember, bib from Johnny. These are items you buy out here. You know what this is, folks? The Punky Brewster doll.
The skate key around the neck. Look at that
Yeah,
skate key.
little Punky Brewster doll. That goes for $25. Now,
I should have waited after the bib.
Now what this is. See, NBC is no dummy. Some shows don't last. They go off the air.
Right.
This is the headless doll. So this was at one time the McLean Stevenson doll. Then it was the Tom Snyder doll. And then they put on a fresh head as soon as somebody's canceled, so they don't have to replace the whole doll. Eric, this is Jeff of Pink Lady and Jeff. Remember that show? They just screw on a new head, and it's kind of a nice thing. Now, those are some of the things in the general store. NBC also has a little boutique back of that. There's some things you might not have seen. For example, Days of Our Lives coffee mug. Yeah, for real. Cheers mug. I don't know what the... And the Golden Girls glass with actual teeth in the... Let's see what else we have here. Many, many fine things here. Now, you've seen Fredericks of Hollywood, right? Mm-hmm. Where they sell exotic things for women to wear and so forth. I guess for men, too.
Sure.
NBC doesn't put these out because children, are past the case, but little pasties with little NBC logos. It's kind of a one-of-a-kind. This is an autographed photo of Wheel of Fortune's Vanna White the night that she stretched her right arm 23 feet when she mistakenly tried to spin the locomotive wheel of a passing Amtrak train. And Peter was right on that one. He says, "Do you think the long arm will go?" And I said, "Sure, it's a funny picture." Here's another one that he said might not play. This is one of the crates of Nutrislim that's ordered each week by the cast of Facts of Life.
Peter was right on two.
From St. Elsewhere, a paste-on appendectomy scar. You can actually... How many of you watch Highway to Heaven? Michael Landon. This is a bottle of Michael Landon's favorite dandruff shampoo. Are you ready for this one? Halo and Shoulders. They were ready for it. No, some of these, we're getting behind time, so I'll just hit ahead of some.
Oh, boy. I didn't see it coming.
Do you see this one coming?
Yes.
The Today Show has these for sale. Bryant gumballs. There's a certain amount of security to do this type of professional comedy. Here's another thing you could buy. Peter says, "Where's he going?" He didn't do that one. You can buy a roll of Willard Scott paper toupees. It just rolls out. Well, you're right, sir. You're entitled. I go, "Boo." Okay, that one's not too good. Oh, here's one. Can you see this? Take a close-up of that, will you, Bob? The Ed McMuffin. Keepsake of the Tonight Show from Doc, Ed, and me. Pop-up marriage contracts. Moving along here now.
This would go.
What?
That would go.
Yes. Yeah. The Karnak commode. Good seat, I guess it does. Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, let's see. I know, I'm just jumping around, Peter. Now, they've got the T-shirts, right? They've missed a big thing here. Everybody's got T-shirts,
yeah.
They got hats, they got sweatpants. Then we just put out a line of shorts. Here's Johnny. How flattering.
Yes.
All right, now, we've got that out of the way. Anyway, Charles Grodin is here, Dom Herrera, Tommy Walton, the hot dog king. Right now, we are going to welcome new Dewey Stevens Premium Light Wine Cooler from Anheuser-Busch. All right, we are back. Whoopee! Okay. Charles Grodin is an unusual fellow.
Yes.
Fine actor. He does comedy, he does drama. He's currently starring in a picture called The Last Resort. And this fall, he's going to be seen in a new movie called, I'm going to get the name of the drunk, Ishtar, it says. Ishtar. Would that be right? With Warren Beatty and Dustin Hoffman. He travels in good circles.
Good.
Would you welcome Charles Grodin?
What are you? You're frowning at my outfit.
You didn't frown at your outfit.
You frowned at something.
You're frowning. You're going to start already this way tonight?
No, you were frowning. I know you for quite a long time.
Right.
This is the longest professional relationship I've ever. This is the longest relationship I've ever had.
The longest relationship I've ever had, too. Why? Is that shirt supposed to be worn out? The only reason I was saying maybe that shirt's supposed to be worn in.
I don't know about that. I thought that when I looked in the mirror after I put it on. I said, I thought that when they sold it, they said you're supposed to wear it. You can wear it any way you want it, and I wore it out because I look better with it out.
Oh, that's a matter of opinion, I think.
I'll have to clear the air, first of all, because the last time I was on...
Yes, I remember that vividly.
Yes, you mentioned it when I saw you in the makeup room, and you said, am I going to attack you again tonight?
Yes.
And what happened was, the last time I was here, I asked you who you were, and who your friends were, and what you want out of life.
A lot of personal questions, how I spent my time.
Right, and a lot of people thought that was vicious. And I, of course, just meant it out of curiosity. But I'm sure you got a lot of mail, and I got a lot of comments that I had behaved very badly toward you by asking you those kind of questions. Who is Johnny Carson? It was considered like an unfair, vicious question.
Well, I didn't know how to answer that.
Right. That's why it was considered. Sorry, I touched your.
That's all right. I was taken back. I didn't know how to answer that question.
Right. It was that you wouldn't think to ask someone, "Who are you?" would, like, cripple you to that degree.
Right.
I don't mean to say cripple.
Set me off a little.
Right, set you off to that degree, and it seemed that every question I asked was difficult, like who are your friends, what do you want out of life, and all of those things. And I think I made you uncomfortable, and I think I possibly even embarrassed you. And
you're doing it again.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
And even though the audience seemed to enjoy your discomfort, I had no intention of making you uncomfortable.
I understand that.
Right. So I wrote you a letter.
You did, a very nice letter.
And I said, surely you know that I was only out here, for amusing reasons, not to attack you in any way.
That.
And you knew all that.
Of course,
right?
I knew all that.
But you didn't answer the letter. Right?
No, I did answer it.
You did answer it?
No.
No, you didn't.
I thought I could get away with that, but you pressed me on it.
Right. All right. So I'm left to think that perhaps...
It's all right to tell a lie as long as somebody doesn't press and really nail you to the wall. Says, yes, I did. Did you? No, I didn't. So
I am left...
I was going to answer it. I was going to answer it.
What happened?
I didn't answer it.
Nah.
That's all. I got to take a break here. We'll be right back. You haven't heard the last of this man. Thank you, Tom. We are talking with Mr. Charles Grodin.
Anyway, after the last appearance, I wanted to come back and apologize.
You don't have to do
if I
that.
made you uncomfortable.
You didn't make me uncomfortable.
But then I thought to myself, well, what am I supposed to do next time? I'll apologize, you know. But then I said to my wife, you know, it's interesting. I read an article in the Los Angeles Times calendar section, the big interview with you
Yes,
a few weeks ago. And I was curious about a few things in the article. And my wife said, oh, you must not go on and press some of these points in this article. Yeah. I mean, he's really going to resent that. And I said, I don't think so. I don't think so at all.
Well, what did your wife want to...
Well, she said, why don't you go on and reveal personal things about yourself rather than ask him to reveal personal things about himself? I said, no, I don't think the audience is interested in that. I think the audience would be more interested in hearing more personal things about you. Now, I said, when I...
You're
my wife
you're
said,
a weird person.
Now, my wife said...
You're
must not... This is a very, very hostile thing. I said, look, it's not hostile if I say to Johnny, look, I happen to have the article right here.
No, it's not necessary.
And if I, want to follow up on some questions that were in this article, some comments that were made, and if I say to Johnny, if I ask you certain follow-up questions, the way, say, Sam Donaldson might do, you know, and you find them uncomfortable, which you might, you can just say no comment. And I thought that was fair. And she said, I don't think that's fair. Now, I'm going to leave it up to you. I can either, press a couple of these questions that were this information in here, or I can reveal certain things about myself. I leave it up to you. What do you want to do here?
Well, there are going to be plenty of shows in the fall for you to go on, so, you know, take your... I see. End of
it's up to you. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll make a deal with you. Okay. I'll ask you a question that's a follow-up of this interview that appeared in the Los Angeles Times. It's not like I'm making up these questions.
I understand that.
I'll ask you a question, and then you do what you want with it, and then I'll reveal something about myself.
Right.
So it's not only about you. Is that fair?
Sure.
All right. That's fair, because we're here to be fair.
I can tell.
All right. Now, the first thing I'd like to add...
You look like Ben Franklin.
Well, actually, this has to do with Ed, a quote from Ed. That you will go to Johnny's dressing room and spend exactly 7 minutes there before the show. It's a tradition.
Yes.
Johnny will invariably be alone, rolling a quarter or doing an old magic trick. All right. We never talk about the show. We might talk about sex. All right. That's my first question. Before the show, you and Ed get together in the room,
right,
wherever you are in your dressing room, and you talk about sex.
Right.
What do you say about sex?
Where can we get some? Now, of course, if you're going to give me a straight line like that, I give you a silly comedian's answer like that.
That's fair. Now, I promised my wife...
No, you've asked me a question now.
Yes.
How long have you been married?
Now, wait a minute.
No, you've had your question. You've been married how long?
3 years.
Did you ever have an extramarital affair?
No, wait a minute.
Well, that's a nice, honest question.
Wait a minute. I didn't... You can ask the questions... No. Once is sufficient. I don't even. No.
One no will be plenty. I understand.
No, but
It's the no. Oh, no. Hey. Just as simple. You see, the answer to the question is a simple, dignified, of course not, and you go on, but no. Have you? That was a cheap question.
Have you?
I haven't been married long enough to have an extra. No, that was not a fair question.
All right. What I meant by this deal wasn't that you would ask me questions.
Oh, I thought that...
No, I would ask you questions. All right, well, we can do it that way, but what I was going to do was I was going to reveal something personal because you answered this question. When you and Ed, before the show, you talk about where you can have sex.
Well, you got 30 seconds to reveal. You got 30 seconds to give us a revealing insight into you.
I had an obscene phone call very recently. I was on the other phone. The other phone rang, and I said, I put one call on hold, and a man said to me, I'd like to make love to you. I said, excuse me, 1 second. I got off the other call. I got back on. I said, what did you say? He said, I'd like to make love to you.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'm not a homosexual. He said, oh. I said, do you do this? This is what you do? Call people up and say you'd like to make love to them? He said, yes, I do. I said, does that ever lead to anything? He said, yes, it does, sometimes. I said, well, in this case, you know, I'm sorry, I can't participate in that, and but good luck to you, and don't keep in touch. You know, while I'm here, would you
That's
just
where
say...
the phone company got their slogan, reach out and touch someone. Now, your time is up.
Now, while I'm here...
No, you've revealed more than enough.
Before we go, would you just say the word sometimes?
Sometimes.
Say that one word.
Sometimes.
No, it wasn't him. No.
What a cheap, tacky trick. We'll be back with some high-class acts. Okay, my next guest, Dom Herrera. Dom is a regular performer at both the Comedy Store and the Improvisation in Hollywood, and he appears frequently at the Comedy Stop at the Tropicana Hotel in Atlantic City. He's been with us before. Would you welcome Dom Herrera? Dom?
Thank you. Hi, I am Dom Herrera. Thank you. I am originally from Philadelphia, I'm proud to say. I lived in South Philadelphia, a very Italian section, for the first 8 years of my life. Hey, forget about it. What am I, wood? The old dam. Come here. Over here. I moved to West Philadelphia, mostly black neighborhood. My man Dom, what's happening? My man, hey, that's my main man Dom. Uh-huh. Then I moved up to New York about 8 years ago. I figure... Thanks. I don't even need to do a routine. I'll just announce places, huh? Moved to New York about 8 years ago. I figured I'd kick around, do a couple of Broadway shows, maybe an NBC special or two. Had a lot of job offers. Took the waiter job. Waiter, I don't like the texture of this salad dressing. Bada boom. It's tough enough working for tips. I mean, I was parking cars at 28 years old under the Brooklyn Bridge, running for cars. Oh, boy. 16-year-old kid would drive up in a white Cadillac Baritz. I'd open the door for him. He'd rub me on the head, give me a quarter, and call me Slugger. Here you go, Slugger. Oh, thank you, mister. Oh, boy. Give the guy a tip or don't, but don't make it like a big deal. Waving a dollar bill at a guy. Hey, here you go. Whoa, here you go. Whoa. Like you're supposed to turn into Flippy the Seal. Oh, thank you. God bless you. Now I can go to college, a good school. Thank you. I think I should tell you I'm from a broken home. My father left home when I was in second grade. My father never cheated on my mother. He used to cheat on me. He used to pick up other kids after school, take them to the zoo, take them to play ball. Mean, when he would get drunk, he would make me get tattoos. No, Daddy, not another Donald Duck, please, Daddy, no. One day he came to me, he says, look, Dom, I got a level with you. I met another kid. For the first time in my life, I feel like a real father. My mother stood right by me. She says, Dominic, you're my son. You'll always be my son. You stay here as long as you have a job. Yeah, rejection is tough. I mean, I'm gonna level with you. Even I didn't always do that well with women. I know you're thinking, come off it, you supple little hunk. Who you kidding, doll face? I asked this one girl out. She says, you got a friend? I said, yeah. She said, why don't you go out with him? So ever get that personal rejection, that zinger rejection? One time a girl's giving me the walking papers. I'm trying to be cool. I said, what, are you seeing somebody? She says, no. I said, what, you're dating around? I understand it. She says, no, I just don't like you. I was one of those neurotic Catholic kids. I was one of those kids, I thought everything I did was a sin. I would go to confession if I saw a bra commercial. 8 years old. What can you do when you're only allowed out till 3:15? The thing I worry about was Judgment Day. Judgment Day, how embarrassing is this going to be? You're going to be judged for all your sins at the end of time. Your whole family's sitting there naked on little stools. Angels wheel out giant video cassette recordings of your whole life. They fast forward all the good stuff you ever did. Slow motion, you got to watch yourself dancing naked in front of a mirror at 14. Your mother's going, I thought you were making models, you little pervert. Hey, Mom, forget about it. I love this. I love being a comedian. I love being a comedian because you can be honest. Certain occupations you can't be honest. Barber, hairdresser. These guys have to be tactful, diplomatic. Guy goes into a barber shop, all those pictures on the wall. I like to look like him. The barber could never go, listen, you fat pig. He is a male model. You are a human sloth. You understand me? Thank you. Thanks. I love working at the studios, too. No smoke. I hate when people smoke in my face. Smoke in the nightclubs. I mean, I got a nasty habit. I'll admit it, spitting. Spitting is a disgusting, vile habit. But I would never sit at lunch with somebody, so, how was your day? I had a rough one. Yeah, I had a pretty bad day myself. I hate when people... That was a good one. I hate when people spray food on me and don't acknowledge it. Look, we both know that you just hooked a piece of meat onto my nose. You see it? It's right there. You know it's there. I know it's there. The kid in the corner knows it's there. Do something, anything. Tap the back of my head, flip it back into the stew. At this point, I'll settle. Acknowledge this, that's all I ask. One of my first dates, I'm sitting there with a girl, ham and cheese sandwiches, 'cause I spend. I rocket a piece of lettuce under her eyebrow. I figure I gotta react to this, I gotta do something. I put a piece of lettuce on my eyebrow. Told her it was cool for the restaurant. Yeah, eyebrow lettuce, that's cool. My grandfather used to smoke these big, fat, disgusting Italian cigars. I think they were actually called El Disgustos. These big mud sticks he would stick into his face. In the morning, he would have stubbles that you could grate cheese on. Wine breath. I was 7 years old. He wants me to give him a kiss for a quarter. Hey, boy, come here. Give Grandpop a kiss for a quarter. Grandpop, you gotta come up with some bucks for this kiss. This is no small change transaction. We're talking endowment. Forget about it, Grandpop. Thank you.
My next guest is probably the most popular baseball hot dog vendor in America. In a lot of parks, he's known simply as the Voice. So welcome a man who has a song in his lips, hot dogs in his hands, and hope in his heart. Tommy Walton. Oh, Tom, you bought some samples we're going to see later, right?
Yeah, we got a few there.
Hey, thank you for coming tonight. Where'd you come in from? You work normally where?
Well, I was in St. Petersburg at the time.
St. Petersburg.
Yes.
But you've worked ballparks?
Every major league stadium it is.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're here tonight. You ever get a chance to see our show?
Oh, yes. I watch it somewhat.
Yeah.
You know, I only like the parts, you know, when you tell the jokes, you know. And right after you swing the golf club, off go the TV. I mean, I'm serious, yeah.
Well, then you've missed the highlights of Mr. Grodin's many appearances. How long you been selling hot dog vendor? When did you start?
I've been doing it about 15 years.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Hey, had you sold before that, or?
Yes, what happened when I was a kid, you know, me and my dad used to sell vegetable off a mule and wagon, you know.
Right.
And I would take and sit up there. He would bore me, you know, with the stuff going through. The people let us grow vegetable in their backyard, and he'd go through, you know, on Saturday and Sunday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah.
We got peas and beans and greens, you know, and I told him one day, I said, Dad, let me do this some, you know. I said, maybe we can do better, you know. And so he said, well, you think you can do it? Let me try it. So the next day I got out there, you know, and these guys were doing these raps now. I've been doing it for years, but I got out there, and so I started hollering, here's the vegetable man. You know, my dad, he would always have peas and beans and greens and apples. So here me go, you know, the next day I got, hey, here come the vegetable man. I got peas, beans, greens, apples, cucumber, squash, banana, corn on the cob, white potato, sweet potato, ginger, titty, dick, titty, yo, titty, my titty, and the people just come out all the time.
Yeah.
So crazy, you know.
Yeah, it's a rap and sales talk, right?
That's right.
Yeah. You may have started the whole rapping thing without noticing it, right?
You know, I think about that sometimes.
Yeah. When you go out now, somebody told me when you sell the hot dogs, you do better than practically anybody else. Now, is that the secret to keep the crowd going, entertained, or what?
You got to have that vim, you know.
Yeah.
You got to throw it in. You got to have something to do for the people, you know, and then they'll appreciate you more.
Because ball games sometimes when nothing's happened gets kind of dull, right?
Right.
So
and that's where I pick up the slack.
Yeah. What's the biggest tip you ever got?
Really, once I never get a chance to go to the bleachers, but this guy called me over, so I goes over, and he said, hey, Tom, how many hot dogs you got there? I said, this thing don't carry about 50 hot dogs. He said, toss them around to the people, and he threw me down two $100 bills.
That's not bad.
That's the best I ever got.
That's not bad. Is there a trick to throwing these?
Not really. A lot of time I miss myself.
Yeah. Somebody told me you threw one once and the thing separated and...
Oh, yeah, this...
And, yeah.
You know, a guy always, when he take his girl out, he like to take and show off, you know.
Yeah.
He got his wife or his girl, so he said, hey, Tom, I'll have, you know, he was about 20 flights up. I'll have a couple of hot dogs, Tom. So I took and tossed one of them, you know, and the next one I tossed, the meat went one way, and the bun and the paper went another, and his top plate fell out.
Thank you, Charles, for being here. Tom Hanks will be here next week. Placido Domingo, Robert Klein. And Roberta Klein, too. He's bringing his sister. Father Guidos, lots of other people. Tommy Walton's going to do a little work out in our audience. We'll see you next week. I'm humbled by that applause.